Uh, this is where I put the hard work in. This is where all the greatness happens. So, just I want to say thank you guys so much.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, Justice, I just 1 second. I just want to say that I had the distinct pleasure of watching Justice compete that night. It didn't take long. I
59
think I
seconds?
counted about 1 minute and 27 seconds. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. He is one fierce competitor, and Justice, I'm proud to have you as a member of our team. You're going places, buddy. Congratulations.
All right. For our next presentation, I have a little speech that to read to you. Tonight, we have the privilege of recognizing three remarkable individuals whose dedication, professionalism, and commitment have left a lasting impact on the Township of Pemberton. It's both an honor and a bittersweet moment as we celebrate the retirements of Lisa Enid Bartholomew, Kelly Cantwell, and Mark Matthews. Mark, unfortunately, is not with us tonight. As of June 1st, 2026, these three employees have officially hung up their township badges and turned in their keys, marking the end of extraordinary careers of public service. Together, they represent more than 80 years of combined service to the Township of Pemberton. Their careers have been built on hard work, dedication, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to serving our residents. Working in local government is often a calling rather than simply a career. It requires patience, compassion, resilience, and the willingness to serve others. Often behind the scenes and without recognition, the work performed by municipal employees may not always make headlines, but it is essential to the daily lives of every resident. Whether assisting the public, maintaining services, solving problems, or helping our community, these employees have quietly made a difference each and every day. Lisa, thank you for your years of dedicated service to the township. Your professionalism, reliability, and commitment have been appreciated by both your crew workers and the residents you served. Your positive attitude and willingness to help others have left a lasting impression on everyone fortunate enough to work alongside you. Kelly, thank you for your many years of faithful service. Your knowledge, experience, and steady leadership have been invaluable to the township. Throughout your career, you have consistently demonstrated dedication, integrity, and pride in your work. Your contributions have helped strengthen our organization and will not be forgotten. Mark Matthews, thank you for your commitment and loyal service to the Township of Pemberton. Your hard work, dependability, and dedication have made a meaningful impact over the years. You have always been someone your coworkers could count on, and your service has helped make our community a better place. Retirement is not simply the closing of one chapter, it is the beginning of an exciting new adventure. It is a time to enjoy the rewards earned through decades of hard work, to spend more time with family and friends, to travel, to pursue hobbies, and to embrace the opportunities that life has to offer. While your daily presence will certainly be missed, your legacy will remain. The relationships you have built, the knowledge you have shared, and the positive impact you have had on this organization will continue long after today. On behalf of myself, Township Council, Business Administrator, your fellow employees, and the residents of Pemberton Township, thank you for your outstanding service, your dedication, and your many years of commitment to our community. Please join me in congratulating Lisa, Kelly, and Mark as recipients of our Employee Excellence Recognition. We wish each of you a retirement filled with happiness, good health, relaxation, and countless new adventures. Thank you for everything you have done for the Township of Pemberton. Congratulations, and may this next chapter be your very best yet. Can you please come forward?
We're very fortunate. Very very blessed, very, very thankful, and very grateful to have been able to work for the township as well. Right? And this is my granddaughter. Right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I could, I had the pleasure of working with all three of them. Mark and I started in public works together. It's been almost 30 years ago now. And then these two I had the pleasure of working with for the last 18 years as a police officer. And when I tell you we couldn't replace those two right there, it would take at least 4 employees to do what the two of them did. And I'm very sorry to see both of them go.
Very good. All right. We do have one small matter, I believe, to talk to about in closed session about possible contracts. So I'd like to entertain a motion to go into closed session for a few minutes.
Motion for closed session?
Second.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. All right. Excuse us a few minutes, folks. I hope we won't be long.
And I'm like, I said to my wife, give me a name. Just trying to cut the I was telling I said, I cut the grass. So I got the grass again.
Yeah.
My house, and my relatives, my daughter. So, then my mother-in-law. Is building on it still. I'm going to. That's when this continues. Yeah.
Yeah, not good. Okay.
Sure, I want to read it. Not sure I want to read it. Oh, no, I don't really understand it yet, but. On page 22. No, the one for introduction. Okay, let me see this here. Little, name. Which is very yeah. Preservation of the purpose farm. I don't understand. This is 6. It said 6. I'll be back. Did you call me? Did you call me? Oh, thank you. Stop reading.
All right, let's call this meeting back to order. Everybody please sit down, quiet up. There will be no formal action from the closed session. Moving on to public comment. Council's intention is to preserve the level of respect, courtesy, and civility required to successfully conduct the public's business. In this regard, the council should be addressed during public participation as a collective body and not individual members. In order to respect the speaker's time, council members will not engage in a dialogue or debate with the speaker. However, council members should feel free to ask the speaker a question or questions once recognized by the council president for the purpose of clarification. Council members can offer comments on the speaker's remarks once the speaker has concluded his or her comments in their allotted 5-minute time frame. All right. Who wants to be first? All right.
I gotta get out here. Jay Renwick, 40 West Linwood Avenue, Maple Shade, New Jersey. I just wanted to come out and publicly thank the council, my fellow employees, co-workers, and the residents for the ability to serve Pemberton as a tax assessor for the last 4 years. I really do appreciate it. I also think that you've made a very good selection in the new tax assessor. I think Patrick will do a great job. He comes from an assessing family, he has a veteran background, and I can tell you I have nothing but respect for him. Again, I just came out, I get 5 minutes, and take a whole 15 seconds. I just wanted to say thank you. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Jay, for your service. And
Okay, I'm Vicki Adams, 613 Sandra Drive. I'm going to let you know that 3 years ago, I embarked on the process of receiving the $20,000 rehab grant. I was finally approved, barely under the high amount. I was told during the process that, I can't see this. I was told that during the process that I only had to pay it back when we sold the house. Specifically asked what if I wanted to refi. Was told that it's only registered at the courthouse in Mount Holly and it will not affect it. Those are what I was told by the staff in the community development office that manned the rehab thing. Okay. My bathroom was done in September, October this year. In December, I applied for a refi, and I was told I had a lien. I would have to ask the township to put the lien on the back side of the mortgage, which meant that they would get paid second instead of first if I ever sold my house. After several frustrating conversations and misinformation, I Oprah'd the code that they had to abide by. Took me 3 tries to get it. Unfortunately, it said that they could not do that, but that it would have to be done only if I requalified for the loan again. Well, I knew at that moment that I would not qualify because my husband, right after I originally qualified, got more money. So I was like, okay, that's not an option. So anyway, my choice was to get my refi and pay back the $25,000, even though I was not selling the house. In resolution 203, 20326, it says authorizes the mayor to execute a discharge of mortgage and note for the premises known as 613 Sandra Drive, Lot 3, Block 116. I don't know why the council must authorize the mayor to do this. My grant was paid in full by me. It was satisfied by me. He had nothing to do with it. I did not get any favors. If he wants to discharge my mortgage for $200,000 or give me the money for the loan back, go ahead, write it that way. The way it is written, it sounds like I'm getting special treatment, and I will not let you put it in people's minds I received any special treatment from you, as I have not. You need to understand and strike all of this, or rephrase it to reflect what actually happened. Why, if I'm paying for this, does the mayor have to do anything? Does he have to put the money back into the account? Well, then fine. Then say, upon payment of this lien, the mayor now has to be authorized. But don't make it sound to the people that me and other people are getting favors from you, because I got nothing from you. I got arguments. It was like, you wouldn't accept being put on the second, instead of being on this new lien I just got. They said, well, maybe they'll let you put it on as the second, meaning that if I sold the house, the mortgage would get paid first and the lien would get paid second. They wouldn't even do that unless I requalified. So I applied for my refi because I needed money for certain things in my life, which took $25,000 away from me accomplishing my goals. So I just want to thank this town for nothing. Nothing. I got nothing from you. Even the grant, nothing.
Anyone else for public comment?
Yeah, well, she said she had to go.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Township Administration, and fellow residents. My name is Marty Graf-Winger. I'm the proud president of the Browns Mills Improvement Association. Founded in 1919, BMIA is the oldest civic organization in our community, and for more than a century, we have been dedicated to serving Browns Mills through volunteerism, civic engagement, community events, and a commitment to making our town a better place to live. And what a remarkable week it has been for our community. This past weekend was one of the busiest and most rewarding weekends BMIA has experienced in quite some time, maybe ever. On Sunday afternoon, we hosted our Luncheon of Excellence, which was our final membership meeting before summer recess. We were honored to recognize our local graduates, scholarship recipients, nonprofit organizations, and community leaders who make a difference every day in Browns Mills and throughout Pemberton Township. The room was filled with positivity, community spirit, and pride in the accomplishments of our fellow residents. It was a wonderful reminder that there are so many people quietly doing good work in our community every single day. I would also like to thank the many BMIA volunteers, donors, community partners, graduates, nonprofit organizations, and everyone who attended and helped make the luncheon a success. It truly reflected the spirit of neighbors helping neighbors that has guided BMIA for more than a century. Then, just a few hours later, our community came together once again for the water carnival. And despite some uncertainty with the weather, the event was outstanding. I would especially like to extend our sincere thanks to the Recreation Director, Kendall Brunson, and his team, Justice and TJ, the members of the Recreation Department, our township employees, public works crews, the police department, the Pemberton Township Fire Department, the emergency squad, emergency management, our elected officials, volunteers, and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make these events possible. Community events of this size do not happen by accident. They happen because dedicated people care enough to put in the work. To every employee, volunteer, first responder, and organizer who played a role, thank you. Thousands of people lined the waterfront. Families gathered together. Neighbors looked out for one another, and the evening concluded with spectacular fireworks. While some neighboring communities were forced to cancel or scale back their celebrations, Pemberton Township came together, adapted, and delivered a weekend that made our entire community proud, and that didn't happen by luck. It happened because dedicated people stepped up, worked together, and refused to let challenges stand in the way of bringing our community together. BMIA was proud to participate, and our Jersey Devil float earned second place honors. This weekend wasn't a celebration of our past. It was proof that Browns Mills still knows how to come together, still knows how to volunteer, and still knows how to believe in itself. And that's something worth building on. A community is not measured by the size of its budget. It's measured by the spirit and size of its volunteers. This weekend, Browns Mills proved that spirit is alive and well. So now BMIA is on summer recess, but our legislative committee remains active and will continue advocating on behalf of our growing membership. BMIA membership has quadrupled since last September, and that growth tells me that people are hungry for connection, community, and a voice in the future of Browns Mills. People are not joining BMIA because we have all the answers. We definitely don't. They're joining because they want to be a part of the solution. Many pontoon boat owners, here's my ask now. Okay. Many pontoon boat owners have expressed interest in docking at the H-Dock during community events such as movie night. At the present time, there are no cleats available for boats to tie up safely. We respectfully ask the township to consider installing some cleats on the H-Dock, perhaps enough to accommodate approximately 5 pontoon boats. Sometimes the smallest improvements create the biggest sense of community. So a few cleats on a dock may not seem like much, but they create another way for neighbors to come together. So what if you can picture in your mind the lit up pontoon boats coming to the H-Dock during movie night and like parking there and people seeing that would be something that would be very interesting for us. So I'm also pleased to announce that we'll be hosting a community candidates forum for the Pemberton Township Mayor and Town Council candidates on Sunday, September 27th at 2 p.m. at the BMIA building, 40 Arbutus Street. All candidates will be invited to participate. We also invite everyone to attend our community planning meeting on Sunday, August 23rd at 2 p.m. The future of Browns Mills should not be decided by the few who show up. It should be shaped by everyone who cares enough to get involved. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter to us. So for more than 100 years, BMIA has been serving this community. We're neighbors helping neighbors then, and we're still neighbors helping neighbors today. And if this past weekend proved anything, it's this. The best days of Browns Mills are not behind us. They're ahead of us. And thank you very much and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Marty.
I just had, I was saying, I had to. I do apologize.
Oh, man.
I wear a size 12 for a reason, Only from Penny Buds, I'm glad everybody could have a laugh tonight. All right. You know how we like to roll. First and foremost, Resolution 189, 2026. Oh, yes. Alex Costa, 2950 Route 70. Oh, my, the adrenaline is pumping. All right, 189, 2026. Please pass this. I know it was tabled at the last meeting, but please pass this. Our public works employees deserve a raise, and they deserve a fair contract. 201, 2026. How much is the shared service agreement going to be, and how long will the agreement be for? 205, 2026. How many acres are being preserved, and about how much is the projected figure cost for this preservation? 206-2026, how much will this be, and where at in Browns Mills will Phase 1 begin? 207-2026, how much are we getting, and what would this money be used for? 208-2026, why are we rejecting the amendment, and what is the reason for the rejection? 209-2026, why are we going out for bids for billboards when we have the marquee signs? Just a question. 210-2026, since we are getting $215,228, how much have we altogether for our UEZ fund as a whole, and is there any plan to use any of this money in future projects for the town this year or next year? New business, number one, how many well flow meters are we purchasing for the cost of $7,772? And was this a quote, or is this just one price from one bidder? Number 11, how much is the bill list? And I just have a few comments and statements to make. First and foremost, I wanted to congrats the mayor, the council of recreation, police, fire, the EMT folks, and everybody who participated for our great community water carnival. That was absolutely spectacular, and for anybody that hasn't been able to or wasn't able to go, I did record the parade, and I also recorded the main event as well, and it's all on YouTube. So just look up Water Carnival Part 1 and Part 2, and you can watch the entirety of my POV or point of view. I also wanted to take a moment and thank Mr. Gerber for helping and taking care of the pothole over at the McDonald's, and now the Burger King as well. Those are craters. They're probably from the moon. Who knows? Maybe a rock came in from the moon and just right there in front of the McDonald's. I don't want anybody to get a flat tire in front of McDonald's. So thank you for taking care of that. And thank you for everybody that goes to the McDonald's, because Mr. Gerber's taking care of it. So now your soda and your fries won't get knocked out of your bag or the cup holder. I just have a few things that need to be addressed at the BMIA building as well. The filters for the air conditioning and heater all need to be replaced. They're pretty filthy. Also, when the AC kicks on, and Mr. Harper and Mr. Bianchini, you guys were there when this happened. When the AC kicked on, the power would flicker. So I think that needs to be addressed. Maybe get some new breakers in there, some higher amp breakers, so that it doesn't cause the power flicker issue. Also, I would ask, could we please, not on a hot day, maybe sometime next week when it's cooler a little, could we have Public Works, if they have a pressure washer? If they don't, could we buy one? Can we get a pressure washer to pressure wash the sidewalks and the cement pad in front of the BMIA door to clean it up a little? Also, I wanted to just address the Veterans Park at Circle Drive. While I was standing there, I took notice the edges were starting to grow over. So I think the lawn care company from North Jersey is responsible for that park, right? Veterans Park on Circle Drive. Not this week, but next week when it's a little cooler, could we have them go out there and use a hard edger and put fresh edges along the sidewalks? Because they were starting to be a little overgrown. And where are we at on the EMS building? Also, is there any news on Sycamore Hall? And the PL parade. Do we know what time that is on Saturday? And will any of you guys be marching in it?
Time's up.
11 and 10 o'clock what? Okay, so
Anybody care to answer any, Mr.
I know the bill list was 179,000, I believe it was.
I don't know if you
I think it was 179 this month.
Okay. As far as the EMS building and Sycamore Hall, the answer is no progress, no progress.
The one where we the one you questioned, Alex, about rejecting the proposed amendment. The contractor was putting in a change. I'm going with the number I think I read. It was 32,000 or something, but the state's rejecting that, so they're not going to get paid for it. So we are rejecting it because the state's saying whatever they're trying to put an amendment in for, it should have been considered in their initial bid, so it's getting rejected.
So they were
we're
trying to
rejecting
sneak and get more money.
Correct. The state says no, so we say no.
Okay.
Okay. 201, the shared service with Woodland. I believe that contract runs till end of 28. It's consistent with our contract with Capital Health. Yeah, that's when our contract runs out with Capital Health.
205.
205, that's us just giving the county ag board permission to go ahead and preserve that farm. We're not, at this point, we're not involved other than to say that we're okay with them following up and, trying to preserve it. Okay.
Do we know how many acreage that is?
I do not know that they just give us lot and block size.
The billboard lease agreement, Alex, was we have billboards in town.
Yeah.
This is how we get something on them, so we don't have big empty wooden billboards with nothing on
Yeah,
them.
we're
Are
going
those the ones on South Pemberton Road?
no, Pemberton Fort Dix Road. We're going to be putting them out to bid.
All right.
That's what that is. Wait. I'm not. Okay, you took care of 08.
210 is the next one.
210 is
The UEZ.
every year we accept funds, and it comes a matter of how much they collected from the tax, sales tax and stuff. They give us our allotment every year. We put it into our fund. I believe we're around 600 and some thousand with this being added in there. And you can see up on one of the other ones, they're looking to use some of those UEZ funds for some stuff. 207. So, yeah, that's what we do, with some of those funds. New business one, that's we approved it once when they went to buy it, and apparently it wasn't available from that supplier, so it had to go out. And it's 2 flow meters, and they're, I believe, for the wells that go into 2 of the different water towers.
They're 2?
What's that?
You said they're only buying 2?
2. There are 2 big ones that register. We have to tell the state of New Jersey how much water we pump out of the ground, and that's how we monitor that. And we'll check into your request for the changing the air filters. The lights flickering, I know I asked DPW about that once before. I'll ask them again about that. Okay? I think we got everything.
Have a safe and happy 4th
Thanks
of
for
July.
stopping over. Don't run anybody over leaving now. Yeah.
I'll stay over there.
Wow. Good evening, everyone. I'm Millie Tuchez, 23 Leland Street.
Is there any questions left to ask since Alex asked them all?
I have maybe 1 or 2, maybe. I do want to start off by saying that our water carnival will be talked about for years to come. It was amazing, and it really, I have to say, I saw friends I hadn't seen in forever. I made new ones. I mean, it truly was an amazing day, and I echo everyone else's, thank you to the BMIA and the rec department and everyone that had a part in making the water carnival successful, because it truly was successful. I'm not going to take up a lot of time because a lot of my questions were already asked. But I do have for 201-2026, I know we talked about the shared agreement. Is there a concern about the availability of ambulances should there be a crisis at the same time at both locations? I don't know how many ambulances they have, so availability. 202-2026, I understand there were some changes. Were there major changes, and what were they? And did council review these changes? Were they privy to the changes? Let's see, what else do I have? That might be it. And I do have one question. Do we have any plans for the area where we are presently holding the farm market? What we'll be using that land for after the farm market is over? Are there any plans for that? Yeah, that's it.
All right, I'll start with the farm market. At this point in time, there are no plans other than to beautify that area a little more. We feel that it's an area to leave the way it is, keep the parking lot there, and we're hoping to, reutilize the rest of the businesses that are closed up there and get them working again. But there are no plans at this time other than maybe some beautification.
Okay.
The squad thing, last meeting, we sold our one of our ambulances that we did have that we no longer use to Capital Health. They were the sole and high bidder, and they plan on incorporating that as a third rig here in the Presidential Lakes Station, so that they can handle us and handle Woodland Township, being that's right over the border.
Right.
So actually, we'll be gaining EMS service here with the third rig.
Mhm.
That's why we felt it was in our best interest to do this shared service. Helps Woodland, helps us by having a third rig out in that area. I don't think that third rig will be available. They're, of course, changing some of the stuff on the truck. They thought 60 to 90 days they'll have it out there and running.
Okay.
202. What was your question on 202? That was short story is we're just updating to get up with the New Jersey state laws as far as temporary disability. And we did get a copy of what the changes were, but it's basically getting our regs up with the state regulations on temporary disability.
Harry, from what I read on that, comes from the GIF anyway, right?
Well, they're doing it because the state
Right.
mandated it, and GIF approved it. Yes. That was it.
I think that was it.
And yes, I agree with you. The Water Carnival was a great thing.
Yeah, just a note on the water carnival. I don't know who was watching the radar, but we dodged a big, heavy rain cell over in Mount Holly. They got a deluge, so we got really lucky.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Oh, I ain't used to having a cane. Hold on. Hello, my name's Tracy Riccadelli, 21A Center Street. I pretty much just have a statement. This week we had a planning board meeting. So I wanted to make a statement about that. So I wanted to speak about the master plan and how important it is to the future of this town. It was supposed to be our final meeting, but we barely had a quorum. And now another meeting has to be held. I showed up 12 days after surgery. I knew how important this meeting was. This master plan affects everything: neighborhoods, businesses, open space, our future. I also wanted to see who actually makes an advisory committee, because we need to have real checks and balances when it comes to this, or we're going to be dealing with what we're dealing with now, coming back on Birmingham, and what's coming back to bite us. To me, it feels like coming back to bite us. We need people watching, asking questions, making sure the plan's followed. It's responsible, it's fair. We need better communication with the public on these meetings. I believe the planning board meeting, if we could YouTube it like we do here. In the beginning, we didn't have much participation on YouTube, but it is picking up now. We have like 100 people that watch, and they interact with each other. If we're not paying attention to what's going on, we're going to have consequences and we're not going to be able to prevent them. I want to make sure that we don't leave any unaccountability out for grants. Everybody needs to pay attention to what's going on. The fact that half the people didn't show up, 40 minutes, we bebopped around, we payroll. Like the stuff that we blew for this meeting, that's something that was so important that we've been fighting for so long. I've been coming to these meetings for 5 years, and this master plan's been spoke about all of these 5 years. With that, I do want to say thank you to the ones that did show. Dewey, Harry, we showed. There was. We were there, and I was so disappointed at how that happened. So that was my statement. I really didn't have any questions, but that was me. Thank you.
Tracy, I will say I have to agree with you on that. The biggest thing facing this township right now is our master plan, and we've been working on that for multiple years. And the planning board held a special meeting just for the master plan. They made that very clear that that's what it was for. Not only did they barely have a quorum, the president didn't show, the solicitor didn't show, the planner didn't show. And then on top of that, when that meeting starts, the solicitor reads what's called the Open Public Meetings Act. In the Open Public Meeting Act, he also puts the same thing that we say, that it was advertised properly in multiple places. After he gets done reading that, he says, I don't know why, but I didn't even have this on my calendar.
Right.
The most important thing we have going on in this town today. But the ones that did show up did their due diligence. I truly appreciate the planning board members that were there, because they did a very good job. And I think the residents that were there made it very, very clear that we need to stop kicking this thing and need to get it done. So thanks for your comments.
Thank you.
Well, for the record, the people that didn't show up are the ones that changed the meeting to that night, because it was the solicitor going back and forth with Max and getting Mr. Banish's schedule too, and they were the ones that changed the meeting to that night. And the only professional there was Jen. Yeah, but I have no idea how they screwed it up. And it wasn't the members of the planning board, it was the professionals. But our Jen was here.
Go ahead, Justine.
Justine Miller, 311 Shoshone Trail. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I stand before you tonight not just as the wife of a township employee, but as someone who is deeply disappointed in how these employees have been treated. For the past 18 months, the men and women of Government Workers Union Local 2120 have continued to show up every single day. They have maintained our roads, repaired our infrastructure, responded when residents needed them, worked through extreme heat, bitter cold, storms, and emergencies. They never stopped doing their jobs, even when waiting for the contract they earned. Let's be honest, this should never have taken 18 months. And when you finally had the opportunity 2 weeks ago to make it right, you tabled it. Quite frankly, this contract should have been passed that night. Instead, you made these employees and their families wait even longer. In today's economy, where groceries cost more every week, utility bills continue to rise, insurance premiums are increasing, and families are stretching every dollar, how could anyone justify making these employees wait another day? It's easy to tell someone else to be patient when your own paycheck and retirement are already secure. If the financial security you enjoy is important enough for you, then why isn't financial security important enough for the men and women who keep this township running every single day? These are not just employees, they are husbands, wives, parents, neighbors, taxpayers, and the people who answer the call when this township needs them. They have honored their commitment to this township every single day for the last 18 months without a contract. Tonight is the time for this council to honor its commitment to them. Resolution 189, 2026 should not be another delay. It should not be another disappointment. It should be a unanimous yes. These employees have waited long enough. 18 months is unacceptable. They deserved this contract months ago. They deserved it 2 weeks ago, and they certainly deserve it tonight. Give these employees the contract they have earned, the respect they deserve, and the certainty their families have been waiting for. And before I close, I'd like to say one more thing. This council needs to get back on track. The people of this township deserve better than the constant division and public infighting. Stop throwing one another under the bus. Stop disrespecting one another in public. We already have enough negative attention. We don't need to keep creating more. You don't have to agree on everything. Healthy debate is part of a good government, but disagree with one another respectfully. Treat each other professionally. Treat each other the way you would want to be treated. People are watching. Your employees are watching. Your residents are watching, and our children are watching. Lead by example. Show this community that even when people disagree, they can do so with dignity, respect, and professionalism. Thank you.
Thank you, Justine.
Good evening, everyone. Mike Salka, 92 Scrapetown Road. Y'all are going to be surprised because my first thing is code enforcement. Great job today. Called him this morning. He took care of it today. So they did a good job today. Earned my respect today, and hopefully they keep moving that direction as far as I'm concerned. Next, I noticed at the parade and everything that the police force has this nice fancy F-150 with the emblems and everything on it with the Hornet and stuff. I was like, wow, that's nice. Of course, my brain first thing was, well, who paid for that? So I Oprah'd, and what was pleasantly surprised is that a grant paid for it. So that's good. Now let's talk about resolutions and transparencies. Yes, a resolution approved it and everything, but the resolution didn't say that a grant was paying for it. It didn't say it was going to be a community relations truck. It was just a police vehicle. Other towns publish all their resolutions even before the meeting so that people can see what's actually in the resolutions instead of trusting what is told to us by council what's in them, so we can actually see it ourselves. I recommend that we do that. Other towns can somehow do it. You don't have to print them all out, but you can put them on the meeting notice with the agenda online, so we can at least see it. That would help a lot, because I would have known more about this truck, and no questions. We wouldn't have to waste money and time on Oprah having me ask for all this stuff to see where it all came from. So I do recommend that we publish resolutions in advance of the meetings. Next, dogs at large. What do we do about them in this town? Do we actually give the owners tickets? Do we fine them? Or do we just return the dogs and let them go? Because there are certain owners that it's a recurring problem over and over and over. Now, just a couple days ago or yesterday, there was an issue. It was on Facebook. Someone's complaining about 4 police officers and code enforcement, police officer on the hood of the vehicle, all afraid and all that. Well, I would be too if there's 2 bully type dogs out there. And I defended the police and the ACO on that part of it. But come to learn that these dogs are out almost every day. How can that happen? Everyone in the town knows about it. ACO knows about it. What are we doing about it? We need some enforcement here, because this isn't one case. This was in Browns Mills. We have dogs loose in Lake Valley. I've had dogs come on my property and and actually go on my porch and rip a cat down off the cat tree on the porch. And when I saw that on the video and found it, we had to get the ACO and find the dogs and everything and have them taken away from the person and everything. But none of that should have started to happen, because those same dogs I saw on my property like a couple of weeks before I reported it, a couple of weeks before that I reported it, and I've come to find out that they were always gone, always running around Lake Valley area. What are we doing about it? That's all I've got.
Thank you, Mr. Salka. Anyone else for public comment?
Pat Guthrie, 317 Birmingham Road. I would like to acknowledge and thank Rosemary, Ken Gerber, Tom Boyd, Councilman Dewey, Councilman Harper. I had an issue last week in Birmingham, and I made a phone call to Councilman Dewey, and it was just also thank you, Mayor Bianchini. I really appreciate it. You guys were within, I think it was less than 24 hours. You were at my house and taking care of the issues. And I did receive your email, Rosemary. I was floored. Thank you so much for all the work that you gentlemen and everyone put in to try to help us protect and save and give the respect deserved to the residents in Birmingham. Thank you so much. And Councilman Dewey, I already know you're amazing, and thank you so much. I mean, I don't think I could have expected. I was just totally floored. I just have a question about 189. I wasn't going to ask anything about 189, but because it was tabled, do we know what the percentage is as far as the increase in pay is and why it has taken 18 months to approve the contract?
I would only indicate until the resolution's passed, it's not a formal contract. So once the resolution is passed, that information is public record. Right now, I don't know if negotiations are complete or not. So that's all I can tell you tonight.
So basically, we don't even know if they got the regular COLA of 2.6 that pretty much everyone else
We
in
know
the
we
federal
just
and
can't
state.
share it.
Oh, well, I agree. We do need to go ahead and quit dragging our feet on this. But I am hoping, because it's not being shared, that it is within reason and like what everybody else is kind of like in the same boat of receiving. Because then I know some people say I worked my butt off and I deserve a whole heck of a lot more than what I'm getting paid. I hope we are within reason and we're within the same sphere as what everybody else is getting and struggling with. Let's see, what else do I have? The UEZ. A couple years ago, we talked about the UEZ. I know we were looking to get rid of the UEZ, but then again, we talked about keeping the UEZ in the business districts of like Browns Mills and where it would help the areas the most. I don't know if it was 2-3 years ago, all of Pemberton Township was declared UEZ. And we had talked about shrinking it down. So this money that we're receiving and this funding, have we shrunk down the UEZ? Or are they in the areas that we had discussed in the past? Hopefully we're all not UEZ anymore. And is that money going to be going to those areas that we had discussed into our business districts, like the town of Browns Mills and the areas that really need it? Besides that, I know the last gentleman had talked about resolutions are put on websites and stuff. I've dealt with Southampton, Chemung, Businesstown, East Hampton, and Medford. I know none of them have all the resolutions out there. I do appreciate the fact that we see the agenda at least 2 to 3 days prior to. I know with the previous council, we were lucky to see the agenda on the same day, the morning of. Medford does keep a book of all the resolutions, so anybody that wants to see it can go into this like area in a room and look at the resolutions, but they don't publish it out for everyone. They do have a book that's available for you to look at, so maybe we might want to consider that. I wanted to thank Alex. I watched the Water Carnival, part 1 and part 2. It was fantastic. I really thought that it was really great. I'm sorry I wasn't able to attend, but it was fun watching it. And I just wanted to mention, hopefully we can have the same kind of turnout and wonderful night on the National Night Out, which is on August the 4th. The rain date is August the 6th, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m. And since the planning board was mentioned at the last planning with the master plan, there is a date scheduled for July the 21st at 7 p.m. to adopt the new master plan. So hopefully everybody listening and in our audience, that's the date, July 21st. So hopefully everybody on the board shows up and will be in attendance. But that's it for me.
Thank you, Patty.
July
Patty.
21st at 7 p.m.
Patty, as far as the UEZ, with
Mhm.
the meetings that we had on Friday nights last summer, we shrunk it quite a bit, so that should become, the next meeting.
Oh, okay. So the proper areas are getting the funding for where they are. And that's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a nice evening.
Thank you, Pat.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Paulie Wenger. I'm the president of the Pemberton Township Historic Trust. I'm going to keep it really quick here. Ditto everyone else for the water carnival and the parade. Thank you to everyone who was such a great help. I would also like to thank the council members who came to the Whitesbog Blueberry Fest a couple weeks ago. I think I saw Dan and Charles and Harry, but I might have missed some other people because I was running around like crazy. I wanted to come up here and just give some news that the Blueberry Fest for Whitesbog this weekend is canceled because of the heat. It got pushed. The next event will be July 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's the next entry in their Blueberry Festival season. Again, it's their big moneymaker in terms of fundraising for Whitesbog, which is such an important part of our town's history. So any sharing on social media by members of the council, also the public, would be heavily, heavily appreciated. For the Historic Trust, our next meeting is on July 18th, which is a Saturday from 11 to 12. We have a speaker coming whose name is Dorothy Robbins Talavera, who will discuss her book on the Quaker Allinson family of Burlington County during the American Civil War. You know, Quakers and war don't really go together well, so I think she's going to, tell us a bit about how that came to come. Last thing, I've been working on digitizing some old VHS tapes on the Pemberton Township Historic Trust YouTube account. We did the 2001 Water Carnival. I'm still looking for any old VHS tapes of town history. So if anyone, that's listening or anything, if you stumble across something that's, a parade or some kind of event from, the 90s or the 2000s, which doesn't seem that old, but I guess now is vintage, please let me know. You can message me on Facebook, whether it's through the Pemberton Township Historic Trust Facebook page or my own personal account. Lastly, I'm also continuing to interview old timers from Pemberton Township. So if anyone knows someone who needs a oral history interview and wants to sit down and talk for a couple hours, again, just reach out to me and we'll make it happen. I think that's it. yeah.
Paulie, I got the date. What's the time on that speaker coming?
It's the 11 a.m. is when they're going to be here.
11 a.m. Okay. Thank you very much.
And that'll be at the train station.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Paulie. Anyone else for public comment?
Good evening, everybody in general. First of all, I want to thank everybody who participated with the Water Carnival. And from the BIM building, we did work, all of the workers, volunteer, we worked very hard. And the Water Carnival was the greatest. Where I noticed, I leave that for the last. First of all, what I did, start for the BIM building, the building itself, being witness from the winter, spring, summer, and fall, Something is wrong with that door. Please. This is a necessary because if I have one of my doors in my home, I cannot lock and secure. My next step is to buy a new door and install it, okay? We run to a problem the Carnival Day. I stated to the president of the BIM building that she's here. She can tell you what I told her. Do not worry about it. We live and keep going. Why? Public workers in the corner, the people in charge is in the corner, that's their problem, not your problem. Right? Okay. We need a new door. I also been witnessing Presidential Lake Community Center. Winter, summer, fall. The last day happened was an election day. We had a building, not recall, I cannot tell you when it was open, but we need a new door. Not putting a little piece of screw there, try to fix it up and send somebody to fix it. They cannot fix it. We need a new door. This is a necessary. This is not a luxury. We are paying taxes. We have to keep the buildings in the greatest shape, please. Okay, I'm going to touch now during the Carnival night. I used to do search and rescue and security in the past. And where I observed, when I'm leaving the BM building for go to the Water Carnival, there is no emergency entrance, only one for the walkers. Somebody gotta go there. When those vehicles coming up, Mr. Doyle can tell you, can park and leave a space between a fire truck and an ambulance in there. And when I walk there and I look there, it's nothing in there. It's a fire truck, number one. The people are dying, they will die there before an ambulance gets there. Okay, I leave it that way. And I will volunteer. If I'm alive next year, I even volunteer to do security, to do parking for nothing. Volunteer my time. I did in the Indian Reservation. I did in many places. I leave it that way. Keep it in mind. Okay, I notice like I do, I walk in PL. I notice Monday morning, I hear in the past, the parole path, they flipping them over. I stayed in front of this podium before. I never saw in PL being flipped over. But guess what? Bingo. Monday morning, I'm walking, and the parole path is flipped over. Okay. Now, my question to the council it is, who put the parole path there? The person who put the parole path there, even an ignorant person can tell what to do. You have to put reinforcement. When you put something in there and there is no tree or nothing to lock with chains, guess what? A bunch of the little kids can play around and flip the portable path over. Okay, today, I notified the public work too. Monday I did that. Okay, today I went by around 12:45. The portable path is still down. Last night I went by, portable path is still down. By around 3 p.m. this afternoon, when I returned to PL, to my home, I noticed the public work truck is there. Okay, when I leave it tonight, 5:45 from my house to come to the meeting, the portable path is up. But where did that portable path should be put it? Where they had it by the community center. Across the street, where you put it in there, or whoever put that portable path, it's a dumb thing to do. You got all the teenagers there. Sure, they're going to do something. Okay. I leave it that way, and I just hope I see you everybody in the parade and are developing Saturday morning, God willing, 11 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is that my name is Michelle Foreman, and it is a real break that when I come here, I'm not hot in the summertime. It's real nice that when I come here in the wintertime, I'm not freezing. I did that for years with the other mayor. Okay. And so did a lot of people in the audience, some of them being your relatives, by the way, who were, too cold or too hot. So that's one good thing I want to say. I have a question about the E. coli in the Mirror Lake. I have a question whether the budget was passed or not. Is that over now? Budget situation, because then are you going to start working on the solar now that it's over? If it is, that's another question. I had asked previously, I think Rosemary was going to look into whether or not the college how it was zoned. Tricia said it was zoned PBRN, which nobody knows what that means, including somebody from the zoning board who's here tonight. And and also, Candace isn't here tonight, but I don't know if anybody knows. She was going to get back to me on how much at the next meeting, or maybe not, somewhere. How much is set aside from the sale of the Acme? I wanted to talk about Harry, you, and you're in trouble tonight too. Okay, you say you're going to do better, Harry, but at the last meeting, I just want to say something. I come up here, I have 5 minutes. I don't want you trying to shut me up. If I have something to say to somebody in the audience because they're disrespecting me and interfering with my share and putting me back another minute or more, I get to say it. And you're not. I do not want you to try to shut me up anymore because that's against the First Amendment. Okay? You let one of the residents sit here reaming out another resident, and you didn't stop her or say one word to her. But as soon as I say 1 second towards somebody who's clearly being rude to me in the audience, you jump down my throat. And then I'm going to tell you, I let it go at the last meeting. You both said that you addressed that issue, and I listened to that 3 times today. And Perry, you did not say anything to the man who interrupted me, and neither did you, Harry. And you all should know by now, Michelle Foreman, she's not the quiet, mousy type. I'm going to say something, and I'm going to fact check the record. And I certainly do not like anybody interfering with my First Amendment right, because it takes a lot out of me to get to these meetings and research and do what I do. And I do it for a reason. I also, because you did that at the meeting at the Wednesday night at the county meeting, when I was sharing, you interrupted me and you said, "Nuh-uh, we're taking care of that issue," making me look stupid. Please don't do that again either. But I'll talk to you more about that later. So the other thing I want to share is the township sent out this paperwork about cutting down trees and how important the trees are. A few weeks later, after we received these, Acme, the new owners, cut down all these trees. Now, my question last week, you said you were going to look into it. I want to know if Jen found out how much money they gave us to cut down those trees. If they did, I want to know how much money they sold us out for. And how many trees do they need to replant? And I'll tell you what I think about all that. Am I allowed to curse? Because other people are. Is it okay if I curse up here? Just want to know if it is. Anybody know the answer to that? Or will I get kicked out? Thank you. But I'm not going to curse because you know what? I've been coming here 25 years and I don't curse at the meetings. And I really quit cursing altogether, really. I slip once in a while, but I don't like doing that because I feel like if anybody curses around my grandson, you don't know how much trouble they're getting by me if I'm there. They're not allowed to curse around my grandchild. And so the other thing I want to know is I wanted to let you know I did get video of the deer. There's a mother with 3 teenagers. I believe the father got killed in front of my in the road in front of my house because it was a huge deer. It must have been the father. I can't prove any of this, as you know, but I got videos of them in my backyard, down the street from me. And when they cut down all these trees, who did the endangered species study? I want to know the answer to that. I still didn't find out who gave them permission to cut down all those trees. Anybody have any answers to some of these questions?
No, Michelle, I don't have any answers.
Rosemary, did you know the zoning of the college? You were going to look into that. I don't know if you
So
did or not.
originally it was a split zone of R3, which is residential, and the other one was GI, which is government institution, but the overlay redevelopment zone is RCBC redevelopment.
Hold on, RCBC?
Yeah.
Okay, redevelopment.
That's just an overlay because it's a redevelopment overlay.
Okay, why is that? Because I was just told that from Tricia. Tricia told me it was zoned something else.
Well, I'm telling you that it's zoned that way. I'm looking at the map right now.
Okay, but let me just ask something, please. What is, she told me it was PBRN. Do you know what that stands for? Or just Jen know what that stands for? RBRN?
I don't see it on there. I'm not sure what she was looking at, but what I can do for you, Michelle, next week, because I'll be, obviously the building will be closed for the next 2 days. Next week, I'll give you a screen print off the GIS maps, and I'll send it over to you.
But right now it's for redevelopment, it's zoned for redevelopment. When did that happen?
That happened years ago.
Oh, okay.
I want to say like 1920. Yeah.
Some of it is. Some.
The last meeting I went to, the county had borrowed money from the Green Acres to buy property in Mount Laurel where they built a new college and put in a sports facility. And they changed their mind and they want to develop it for a warehouse or something. And the Green Acres came in and said, whoa, we gave you the money to put a sports complex in and you changed your mind and now you want to, build this warehouse. And what was it? 4-1, they had to give them back.
Yes, that's the
So
exchange when you change.
it's tied up. I don't know for how long. It's going to be a while. Right now, it's tied up between the county and Green Acres. So there ain't nothing going to get built there until they get it straightened out.
Where were they going to put a warehouse?
In Mount Laurel.
Oh.
See, they bought all the ground over there. They built the college, whatever the name of that college is, but the county owned all the ground to the left of it because they were going to put a sports complex in, and then the college changed their mind. They didn't want a sports complex, so the county was trying to sell the ground. And then Green Acres stepped in and said, whoa, you can't sell that. We gave you the money to buy it. So that's why the Green Acres, I guess, has a lien or whatever on the college property. So it's going to be a while before that mess gets straightened out. So.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I was at the county meeting. They don't want us to demand answers. I know that.
Mm.
And so, Jen, were you able to find out if they were going to give them? You said you were going to look into it last time. I just remind you. Is the Acme going to give us money for cutting all those trees, and how much? And how many trees do they have to replant if they choose the other option? Do you remember? If you don't have it this week, I can wait to the
No, it's fine. The Acme did so. The trees that were cut down were part of their site plan approval that went through the planning board before I was the planning board engineer, just so we're all clear.
Oh, thank you.
So that is when that became that's how the trees cutting down got approved. The what the developer decided to do was to pay us $700 per acre, which is what is currently in the ordinance, for the trees that cut down. So they did not have to go through and count how many trees over a certain diameter that they cut. So in lieu of replanting trees, they gave the township $700 per acre, which, Rosemary, correct me if I'm wrong, goes into a tree fund.
How many acres, do you know?
I do not know
Okay,
what the total
okay,
acreage
that's fine.
is off the top of my head.
2 acres, really.
So you don't know the total amount they gave us for trees yet?
Correct. They've already paid the township. I just don't know what the total number of acres was.
Right, because if it was 2 acres, they'd have to have paid us $1,400.
Correct.
They ain't worth selling those trees for $700. I'm just letting people know. That's what I feel, and so do a lot of the people around there. They sold us out with those trees and the wildlife for $700.
Now, Michelle, what I would recommend is you ask Tricia for a copy of the overall site plan and the planner's review letter, which may show that they may have taken out the trees, but they could be replanting trees in a buffer line along those residential properties. That's something that you'll be able to see through looking at the site plan and reviewing the planner's review letter. If you want, when I get back next week, you can get it. I'll get a copy of everything and we can sit down and I'll show you.
Okay. Okay, I have another question, but I'll wait till next time. Yeah, I'm not happy about you two trying to shut me up at the last meeting. I'm just reminding you, please do not respect my First Amendment right. Please don't try to shut me up again. I'm going to talk right over you next time. Because you don't say nothing to other people with big pocketbooks when they ream out a resident or the other employees who curse them out too. Thank you, I pass.
Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to resolutions. All right. Anybody got any appetite for consent agenda or wish to pull any?
I'd like to pull 193, 2026.
193 has already been pulled, Danny. We're not doing
Okay.
that tonight. The lawyers are still working on that.
All right. And 201, 206.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mr. President, I'd like to pull 189 for some clarification before
Yes,
we
sir.
proceed. 189.
Yep. Any other ones? All right, and just for clarity, gentlemen, 209, we're just looking to approve it to go out for bid. Yeah.
It's fine.
193 was pulled off. That's why it's not on yours out there. So, all right. So I'm looking for a amended consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the resolutions other than the ones that we pulled.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. All right. 109 or 189, 2026. Perry.
My question was, unfortunately, the mayor just stepped out, so I'm going to have to wait for him to come back in.
Okay. We can, yeah, we do 201. Danny, what was your question on 201?
I got a lot. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I've read it 3 times.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like we're not getting any money. They're not paying any money. But anytime we get involved in a shared service, it costs us money. So I want to know, so we sell them an ambulance.
We sold Capital Health and
Capital Health and ambulance.
Yep.
Where are they going to park it at?
It's going to be, they're going to put the 3rd rig. We now have 2 rigs in the town. They're going to put the 3rd rig out the Presidential Lake Station.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be able to respond quicker out there, but also be able to
Okay,
handle.
so is Capital Health going to man that with people on 2 shifts, or is somebody going to drive their car from Capital Health to go there to drive the ambulance?
It'll be manned there at the fire station.
Okay, are we supplying the gas for this ambulance?
No, it's all Capital Health. Same thing that they do now for us. They provide 2 full-time ambulances now for free. They, and this will be a 3rd one for free, but they're going to also handle some of Woodland Township. It's why we're not charging Woodland, because Capital Health doesn't charge us. It's just providing a service. The only way Capital Health would do that for Woodland Township is if, they got onto our agreement, which runs till the end of 28. And Woodland Township donated some stuff to Capital Health that they had from losing their old ambulance. So it's not costing us any money. It's getting us more service.
Well, you're housing an ambulance.
Well, we're getting service for it.
Well, they were doing it anyway for free. It feeds their hospital, their emergency room. That's just a question I have. It's just, anything that we do with shared service, like on the bill list, we're paying Pemberton Borough $25,000, half of what we own for a shared service. Just that was my question. It's not good arithmetic to me.
Okay. Any other questions on 201-2026? Like I said, it's we thought it was in the best interest. We're getting extra ambulance coverage out in the PL area.
Great.
The building's sitting there anyway. It's it's not costing us any extra to have those guys there.
Got to keep it warm in the winter.
We have to keep it warm now anyway because the fire trucks can't freeze up. The building can't freeze up.
Yeah. Well, could get a percentage of something out of it, but all right.
Anybody else have any questions on that one? Then I'm looking for a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve 201.
Second.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. All right, back to 189-2026. Perry, you had a question for the mayor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. On the contract issue, I understand that you're still negotiating on one very small item, so we can get this thing done.
I had a very productive conversation with Mr. Tucker today. I think we're in a good place.
Are you confident that we can get this wrapped up quick enough that even if we have to, we can have? I don't want to wait 2 more weeks. If we can get this one item done, we can get a special meeting and get it approved.
If Mr. Tucker gets this ratified next Wednesday, I say we do a special meeting next Thursday.
Perfect.
Oh, we need 48 hours, right?
Correct.
What is it? 48?
48 hours,
Well,
but we can post on the
so-
website.
I'll come in Friday.
We're closed Fridays.
We can open for a meeting, can't we? We call a
can.
special meeting.
We can.
We can't.
We can.
Oh, okay.
But if he has the meeting earlier than Wednesday, like Monday or Tuesday, we could do it next week. But I think we're in a good way.
Good. Glad to hear.
All right, and I appreciate that information, Mayor, and I know what everybody's looking for, and believe me, we don't want to do this, but they're still working on things. So I'm guessing I'm looking for a motion to table it until the next negotiations with the union.
I just want to make one comment on this before we're very clear. This has been a very, very long time, and I've sat in their shoes, and I've waited for up to 2 years for a contract. It is very frustrating. But right now, without being able to say too much, I want to get this money out because these people absolutely deserve it, and we need to move forward on this. And a special meeting, I'm all in favor for. But for right now, just until we can clarify this one thing, I'd like to make a motion to table this one more time.
All right, got a motion.
Can we tentatively set a meeting for next week for this, or are we going to wait 2 weeks?
I mean, I say can we do that, Amy? And then if it comes to fruition, you may send on notice.
If we can wait until I can contact Sunshine to see if she will be available, I will not unless I can have my grandson sit next to me.
Okay.
He
I'm
will
all
be
for
with me
that.
all week.
Okay. All right.
You can sit with me.
Because I would really like to get this done. These
Oh.
guys and girls, they deserve it, and it should have been done a long time ago.
And Danny, the problem we're having is 18 months is a long time, but we've only had it for 30 days. It's kicked down the curb, kicked down the road like everything else for the first 12 months by the gentleman who's no longer here.
That's what happens when you go a year and a half without a VA.
Yep, I know it's tough to do, but we're trying to do the
Now
right
we
thing.
got a good one.
I'm going to text Mr. Tucker right now and see Mr. Tucker, the union president. I'll text him right now and see how quickly he can get the group together. to vote on it.
Yeah, get it done for 'em, man.
Okay, so I got a motion looking for a second.
Second.
Mr. Doyle,
Absolutely, yes.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. All right, moving on. Ordinances for second reading. We got ordinance 21-2026, an ordinance amending chapter 92, section 92-3, entitled Primarily Investigation Complaint Hearings of the Code of the Township of Pemberton. Anybody in the audience have any comment on this? I know there's stuff back there for you. Basically, oh, come on up, Patty.
Pat Guthrie again. I just want to clarify, it looks like the only change you're doing is you're taking out the enforcement official, and basically the hearings will be held before the township council. And then more of what I gather from this, you guys will be setting what kind of fines or anything like that should be applied to anybody in violation.
I'm going to let our resident expert, Mr. Boyd, answer that question. I know it was set up that it was an improper way of doing things, and he made us aware of it.
The way it is currently written, the individual that would write the violation would also be the individual that would be appealed to, who would also be the individual who would assign a penalty if any was deserving. So in essence, that would be judge, jury, and executioner.
So it wouldn't have to go to the court and be heard in front of the judge as far as to get the fines collected. Our township officials would be the ones going and collecting the monies.
If it goes that route, then it would be in fact going before the council rather than before
That is great.
to try to speed up some of the processes and try to.
I think this ordinance is terrific. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Patty, for your questions. Anyone else?
Okay, Michelle Foreman. So I read this over once while you guys were in closed session. And can somebody give me a short version of what this means? Like somebody in the code enforcement office can just go into somebody's house and say, close it down? Is that what this is saying?
No.
I'm trying to understand it. If somebody has a short version, Harry.
Okay, I don't have a short version for you, Michelle. I mean, Tom, you want to try to enlighten us a little bit? I mean,
Under the Fourth Amendment, we could not do that where we go into an individual's home. If a home, in fact, has been determined to be uninhabitable, which is different than an unsafe structure, this is where this would come into play.
Uninhabitable, but not
Uninhabitable
unsafe.
is not the same as unsafe.
So this is talking about uninhabitable.
It was directed to it. It's more encompassing than that. But yes, that was one of its primary.
Okay. So if you have a few little problems, you're not going to come in and shut the house down, right?
No, ma'am.
I gotcha. Okay.
No,
All right.
that will not happen. In fact,
You were at my house. Are you going to shut my house down?
no, ma'am. You're still in. As far as I know, you're still in your house, are you not?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
you weren't he wasn't in my house. He just had to inspect the oil tank.
And that's a primary example of what you were saying. I was not in your house, nor did I have any right to go into your house.
Right.
So we are not advocating for removing anybody's rights as a United States citizen to go into anybody's house.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I kind of concerned about this because I go around and see some houses in very, very bad shape and yards in very, very bad shapes, and other people is not too bad, but they're getting tickets I don't really like that when I see that, but that has nothing to do with this probably, so I'm gonna end it there. Thank you.
Anyone else? Sure, go ahead.
Tom, an example of what we're discussing. Let's say there was a complaint. The lady next door complains about a foul smell or something coming from their neighbor's house, and you go out there and there's 100 cats in there, and then you got animal controls involved, and the place is tore up, stinking, dead cats, the whole 9 yards. Is that basically uninhabitable, where you would be able to shut it down, or
That, based on what you just described, that would be an uninhabitable house. And then that individual that lives there has the right to appeal it to the township council, for which the members of the council then can decide.
Yeah, okay.
Anybody else have any questions on it? If not, we're looking for a motion on ordinance 2126.
I'll make a motion to approve 2026.
I'll second it.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. All right, moving on. Ordinance 22-2026. Ordinance of the Township of Pemberton, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, regulating short-term rentals, imposing an occupancy tax on transient accommodations, addressing illegal occupancy and relocation assistance, and amending Chapter 148 rental properties and Chapter 190 zoning of the Code of the Township of Pemberton. Anybody from the public have any comment?
This was a long one. So after reading and trying to gather all my thoughts on this, for instance, if someone is illegally renting out properties, it hasn't been inspected properly, there's going to be fines and violations served to them for not following this ordinance. It kind of falls back on number 21. The town council would be the one to initiate and say, okay, it's going to be this such and such fines, enforce it, and we can go ahead and collect any violation fees and charges from them for doing such stuff that we're trying to protect, like the renters and people that are charging fees to people that are doing stuff like this.
It's not necessarily where the town council is a court. It's more a matter of if things were issued as Mr. Dewey, his example, where it was an uninhabitable structure, then they can in fact rule on whether it is or isn't. It's not going to be necessarily on this particular one. That would be going to court.
Okay, so basically if someone is renting a house that hasn't been approved to be rental property, or haven't even filed for their paperwork to even be a landlord, it would not be on the council at this point. It would go to the courts, and then the judge would be making his determination on that.
That is correct. And just for the record, the court cases this year from the first half of the year are up over 2.5%. I mean, 2.5 times what they were last year. And the penalties collected are up 2.5 times what they were last year. We had approximately 130 court cases this time last year, and we're approximately at 400 this year. So the folks have been doing an excellent job in that office.
All right, thank you.
Council President, can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd. I was just sitting back in my chair and I was thinking about this as I was reading this ordinance this week, but it might be the other one. So
in regards to the ordinance that we just passed, that Councilman Dewey was describing, right? And we talked about uninhabitable, and council would make that decision. How many other townships follow that model?
I can't give you a exact number, Mr. Ward. I'm familiar with 3 of them myself.
Okay.
And I know that model was formulated from other municipalities that have it. I don't know who it is, but I do know of 3 of them that do.
Okay. So my other, it's not really a question, Tom, but an ask. In the future, I don't think we have anybody up here. It's more common sense than anything. I understand what we're going for with the livability or uninhabitable space, but do we think it would be privy to the future councils maybe to have a class or an educational piece from your department, as opposed to just coming out with a possible resolution that we deem the structure as uninhabitable and we want council to interject on this? I don't think there's a lot of people up here, and I'm not taking away anything from any of my fellow council members at all. I'm just saying from maybe an informal situation once or twice a year that your department could maybe have a meeting with council and kind of identify what would be inhabitable, what would be uninhabitable. I think that would be beneficial.
Talking about like a set of guidelines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's not always going to be
Cut and
us.
dry. Yeah.
Right. And that's what my concern is with that.
Okay.
That Harry, that it would become you're right. Perry's right. It's opinion.
Right.
So what constitutes uninhabitable to me might not constitute uninhabitable to you, and then you get into a gray area.
Right.
So I would just formally ask in the future, that council be served guidelines that they can study and understand, or is that too? Does that make it black and white, and that's not developed for that reason?
First off, I think that's an excellent idea. I have actually, I was actually asked to do some classes to attorneys because most attorneys don't even know the Uniform Construction Code real well. I've been asked to be expert witnesses several times, and I can't do it because I'm inactive. I love it. I absolutely love it. When I go out on the street, I try to educate contractors, and I actually try to get them into this field because, as you folks probably well know, there's nobody out here doing it. I think it's an excellent idea. The fact is, yes, that I would be bringing that to you, but it might not be me bringing it to you. It might be somebody else bringing it to you, and they might have a different perspective. I certainly believe in the old adage that a man's house is his castle. I will defend an individual's right, even if I don't think what they're doing it was the intent. But if the law doesn't allow me to do it, I will not do it. I've talked with Mr. McGuckin on several cases such as this goes. So yes, I think I would welcome that. Absolutely welcome it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking exactly like I deal with CFR code every day in my job. I mean, and nobody really understands one thing or the other, and then one interprets it a standard this way and a standard the other way, and you can see where the confusion lies. That's just my concern for future councils, and I'm glad, I'm happy to hear that you're behind that. That makes me very happy. So thank you.
You're welcome, but thank you for bringing that up. I do believe that is important.
All right. Sorry for the delay, Michelle.
Okay. Who wrote this ordinance? I just don't remember it coming to be introduced at the last few meetings. Anybody know who wrote this?
I believe Mr. Boyd and our attorneys were instrumental in getting this together, right?
The ordinance has been around for quite a while.
Yeah, you're
It was
just making
a
amendments.
revision to it, so to make it more streamlined.
And so who was working on it? You and the solicitor right here?
I don't know if it was Mr. McGuckin or one of his associates. That I can't answer.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does this have anything to do with, I come up here and talk about it a lot. You may not remember, but the $200 that if you have a house and it's sitting vacant, you have a $200 a year fee towards that property. If it's vacant and you're not using it for anything, you have to pay a $200 a year fee.
No, that's completely different.
So that's a totally different situation, correct?
Yes.
You're not saying that doesn't exist. That does exist.
It does
but this
exist, yes, but
has
that,
nothing to do with this, so I can't talk about it.
that's
Okay,
correct.
good. Gotcha. Okay. So it's a little bit confusing for me. I don't need to understand every single thing that I hear at these meetings, otherwise I'd have you all night. But for example, is this concerning a house that's being rented or owned? And I have one more to say. Rented or somebody live in it because they own it. But I have a neighbor's house who they haven't lived there for years because they've been passed away. And it's just sitting there vacant. Does this have anything to do with that? A vacant house that I don't know what's going on with it. I know supposedly she left it to her brother. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if the township is moving in on it or what.
There is a vacant and abandoned ordinance, and that is a separate one, as the Mr. President said.
That's different than this.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is just for rental or
No, this is
you
for
own?
all single-family dwellings.
It could be rental or I could own it.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else for public comment? What's that? Yes, feel free, Mr. Dillon.
Tom, I got a question. Harry and I were involved in this, I know, over 2 years ago. I didn't, this is, I gotta remind him. Remember we had, they didn't come officially. It's the Blueberry Farm on Magnolia Road. We went out there twice. We never were able to make contact.
Yeah,
They bought this blueberry farm. It's a working farm. And they had the main house, and then they had another house there. And they wanted to do a bed and breakfast or, you know, stuff like that. And they never officially applied. But when, I guess, I don't know where they went to zoning or whatever, and it got turned down without them even filling out an application. Now, is that something that could be incorporated in here if somebody wanted to do that? Because that's a short term, I mean, you know, they might get there Friday and leave Sunday.
I believe that was what the language was added in there for short-term rentals.
Yeah,
For anything,
when I-
houses,
You know,
apartments.
when I read the short term, I was thinking about the people that came in and wanted to do the bed and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast, exactly, or the Airbnb or the whatever one it would
Airbnb,
be. So, I mean, I would have to relook at it honestly, but I believe it would be able to be incorporated. If it's
It
not.
would be incorporated in this?
If it's not, I will certainly look at it
Okay,
again.
I mean, I'm
tomorrow.
just, you know, because we went out twice and we never made contact with the people. And I don't know, somebody reached out to us to investigate it. We went out there, but we never could catch up with them, you know. But I thought it was a good idea, you know.
According to Article 148-25, it says here the properties that are eligible for short-term rentals. And it says that in Article A, a dwelling unit may be used as a short-term rental only if the dwelling unit is the principal residence of the owner or long-term lessee.
Yeah, but they had the main house and then they had another pretty neat looking house there where they were gonna.
Yeah, well, according to this one, that would be different because it's a different building.
Yeah. All right, just asked.
All right, any of the council have any other questions? If not, we're looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve 2026.
I'll second.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. All right, moving on. Ordinances for introduction. 2026, an ordinance authorizing the exchange of township property located on block 787, lot 4 for a portion of the Burlington County owned property located in Pemberton Township and identified as a portion of block 812, lot 9-01 which portion may be designated as Block E12, Lot 9.04, and shown on the official tax map of the Township of Pemberton, and authorized all documents and actions necessary to effectuate the land exchanged. Basically, this has been since 2009 going on. We're trading the rail trail to the county of Burlington, and we're getting the piece of property right next door to the township building that we always have to get special permission from to hold events and stuff. We are keeping the historic train station and that portion over there. They're just getting the rail trail behind that runs out back to Birmingham and that way. The county, as far as I know, have no problems with this. They just wanted us to get this finalized. I don't know how it fell through the cracks for so many years, but we're trying to finally get it finished. And that's basically the gist of what we're doing. Any questions on this, gentlemen?
I have a question. So the train station is going to be 100% Pemberton Township, so our historic society doesn't lose the building.
That is correct. That stays.
So
in the,
while we're in the process, is there any negotiation for across the street, the ball field? Because the ball is owned by the county, and we got tons of money involved. And if they ever get pissed off,
well, this is what the county and the township originally went into agreement with in 2009, and that's what the county's willing to trade for it. So I just wanted to get this done and over with, and we won't have to get special permits to use that property next door. It'll be ours. Yeah.
well, I agree with that, but I think we should approach them about the ball field.
Danny, may I, Council President?
Sure, go ahead.
So
Why
Ro
not?
and I, since I took over in January, are identifying all of the county-owned properties to include the ball fields, and we're just trying to set up meetings with the county to discuss ways to take all that property back. And it's not just the ball fields. So they're not very receptive. That's the
Oh
challenge.
yeah, I know, but all right.
And as long as it took to do this deal, and I've been working on it along with our attorneys and Amy and Roe, and we don't want to mess this up. We want to get this one solved and solidly put away, so Paulie doesn't have to worry about where his stuff's going to be and all.
Hey, you got to take care of Paulie.
Yeah. So it's a long time coming. I hope nobody has a problem with it.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Get her done.
Yeah, Council President, I have a couple questions on this. So I was involved with this with the county 3 years ago, and my question would be, number one, if we're doing this land swap, did the county identify when they would be moving forward to do the rails to trails beautification? Because when I asked, she said it was a while, like 10 years. And then the other issue that she has is on the other side of Hanover Street, that's still owned by Norfolk Southern, the whole strip from behind the old Owl's Nest all the way up to the schools. And when I talked to Norfolk Southern, they're not willing to sell that, and the military doesn't want them to sell it.
The only answers I can tell you is they said they needed to get this piece resolved and firmly in their hands before they could move forward with any.
Yeah, but does she want to go? Does she want? I'm not trying to cut you off, Harry, but the whole plan, because like I said, I discussed this with her 3 years ago.
Right.
And the whole plan was, okay, we come in to the railroad station, but you're going to have to make a choice. How do you get further west through the borough and come out by the old railroad station on that side of town, because that piece of property was given to the warehouses in Birmingham Pit. So you can't make a rail to trail connection there anymore. So how do you get down to New Lisbon from the railroad station? And what does that look like? So it's really, unfortunately, it's at a standstill. You can get And that's what I talked with her about. You get to Pemberton Fort Dix Road, and then they got the bike trail that goes up Pemberton Fort Dix Road that they can use. That's fine, but you're not going to be widening that road anytime soon to allow for walking, pedestrians, that sort of thing. So my only question is, and I go back to the same point, is I want to make sure that the county, we're giving the county a piece of land to hopefully beautify and make the trail better than what it is right now, because the people that were in charge of doing it in the first place just trashed it. And that's fine. It was a good idea. It was great. But what I would hate to see is we give it to the county now, and they can't do anything and don't have the funds to do anything with it for 10 years, and then the trail goes to disarray, which we all know that it will, and there'll be potholes and everything else in it. And then who controls that right of way to allow people back and forth down there? Do we got to go to county and ask permission? Have we got to drive a truck down there? Or has anybody really thought these questions through? It's a great idea, and I'd love to pursue it, but somebody needs to think about this before we go forward, in my opinion. Because all we're asking for is a piece of empty land right next to this building that nobody's doing anything with. But those are my questions that I would ask her. That's
Josh, that trail, would that come under the county parks and recreation?
Yes, if we gave it to them now, yes, the county parks and recreation department would be, and that's the other thing, Danny, you bring up, because I asked when I had those meetings, it was what I was trying to get worked out was if the county comes over and wants the rails or trails, it's great, and that's part of the agreement. I'd love to see that, but what I'd like to see is the township be responsible for the maintenance and upkeep, so we get something in return. And then you do it. Again, you talked about, like you said, with shared service, but getting more money into public works. If the county needs to do work on that rails or trail that's in our town, in theory, right, hypothetically, then hey, the county would say, yeah, we want to use, like a Jobs and Blue thing, we want to use your guys and share them out and get them some money, and beautify it that way. There's a lot of working pieces with that trail, but you ain't getting Norfolk Southern's piece. That's for sure.
Well, and again, we can only, deal with the piece of property that.
Yeah, and I'm not living in the past either. I don't want anybody to say that.
I know.
It's but
I mean,
the trade-off is great, Harry. The idea is great. I'm behind it. But I mean, again, we're trading one piece that might hold some value for a piece that we're not doing anything with, except having a carnival on it once a year. Unless we're planning on doing something with that, and we're building a new municipal building or something I don't know about. I don't know.
Not that
I don't want to start any rumors. But,
No,
God forbid.
It's just for the community events that we have. That's all.
I think we're sitting pretty nice on it now. I mean, they allow us to use it. I mean,
right.
We don't pay for the. I don't think we pay for the electric on it, right? I mean, when we plug things in over there.
I'm not.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's a great idea. I think all that needs to be worked out, before let's do it.
Well,
That's a little scary.
The county does have a bad reputation. That's why the college is being torn down.
It's not the greatest.
They.
I mean, look at Himmeline Road up in
build
Bedford.
nice properties, but they don't maintain them.
Well, like I said, I'm just looking at it as an opportunity to get it finally put to bed. We have no control once the county takes it over. I believe they're going to maintain it, as good or if not better than that.
I've been to some of the other county parks, and they do maintain the main trails on those.
Charles, I'm not saying they don't. You know what I mean? I'm just saying right now, my concern is in the immediate future, right? I'm not talking about 3, 4, 5 years down the road. I'm talking about a year, 2 years, 3 years, right? That's going to be the last thing on their mind. If we give it to them right now without asking these questions, I think it's very dangerous to not ask the questions. That's all.
Well, I'll tell you, if we could pull the deal off when we get the property, it would be a perfect spot to put an amphitheater. Put it all the way in the back. You got a field for this, people bring their chairs. You got plenty of parking, and sky's the limit what you could do there. It's better than a splash park.
Mr. President, I only have one thing, and it kind of is similar with what Josh was saying. I mean, I live right next to this trail, and I can tell you the amount of use that the township gets, the number of residents from Browns Mills. Michelle, how many times have you come down it? Public Works is on top of this trail. I mean, the mowing, Matt's trash run still twice a week or once? Trash run. You guys do that twice a week or once? Once a week? I mean, faithfully, the truck's pulling up there right by my house. The trash cans at both ends. There's never trash along the trail. My most immediate concern is whether or not the county's even going to do half of what our guys do now, because that thing gets heavily used. And just for a brief little excerpt of what this weight trail is, for those of you who don't know, 30 years ago, a little bit longer than that now, Christy Whitman was in office. I was in Public Works. I was actually on the crew that built that white trail. And the reason they call it the white trail is because the whole trail was covered in 3 to 4 inches of crushed concrete. Thank you. And this trail was we were the very, very, very first leg for the entire South Jersey area. It was supposed to go from Pemberton all the way to a river town. I don't remember which one.
And through Smithville all the way out.
All the way across to the shore, turn south, go all the way down into Vineland, I believe, wrap all the way around and come up along the river and meet up in that same river town again. Over 100 miles. And we're the only town that ever started with it, and we're the only town that's got it. And if we give this thing away without some kind of guarantee, and I don't know how, I don't spend money without getting a consensus, but I would love to see the township be able to maintain this thing until they pick up whatever kind of project they're talking about, because some of their parks, yeah, they're beautiful. But the reason is it's their parks. It was their baby from the beginning, not ours. So I have a lot of concern.
So what you guys are saying, you'd rather have, the stipulation that we still maintain it? I mean, is that what you're?
I'd like to have some type of maintenance plan from them, Harry. And if not, then let us keep it for a while.
There goes the amphitheater.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. My apologies. I don't mean keep. God, I got you to smile. I don't mean keep the property as Pemberton Township. I mean the maintenance portion of it. Our residents benefit from it. I mean, I do see residents that come from other towns. I've spoken to a lot of people that walk it, but 90% of the people are our residents, and they want to break from living in the borough, or they want to break from living in downtown Browns Mills or their community. You want to walk, you want to see trees, you want to see water, you want to see deer, you want to see fox, you want to see coyotes. You walk the white trail in Pemberton behind Greenberg Farm before it gets overgrown, you're going to see it. And I don't want to lose the maintenance that we have on it. That's my concern. Our guys do paramount work there, and it needs to stay that way until they guarantee us they're going to do it right.
Mr. McGuckin, could we add a paragraph in there that we will still do the maintenance on that?
We would need to include that in the shared service agreement. They would have to agree to that, and we've had no discussions about that.
Yeah, I mean, if
I mean, even gentlemen, I don't mean to cut you off, Harry. Even if it's going to get to the point where if they're going to say they're going to do it, that's fine. But if it gets to the point where we're saying, yo, guys, come cut it, and they don't, and we send our public works out there, let's get paid for it. Keep it to our standards that we have it now. If you can't do that, that's fine. Let us do it and pay us to do it. Plain and simple. If they hold up their end of the bargain, they don't have to cut a check. If they don't, we'll do their job for them, but pay us for it.
Maintain it, and somebody gets hurt back there, we certainly don't want to be liable.
Once it's theirs, they're liable.
They're going to own they'll own that portion of liability.
Yeah.
But liability is one thing. But how about beautification? Let's just keep it at least the way it is. They're going to make it better. Hey, I'm all for it. But keep it the way it is until you decide to finally step in and do it.
Can we move this along, sir? And then, with the exception that we add in a paragraph about the maintenance.
That would be a substantive change, I would think.
It's first reading, so you can make the change tonight if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But the county has not approved that, so you cannot.
Well, the county hasn't approved this deal. We
Okay.
have to do first and second reading and then turn it over to the county for their final approval. Yeah.
So the idea would be to amend the ordinance to say that we want to maintain the property until such time as they do what?
I don't want to say so much that we want to maintain it, but let's hear their maintenance schedule, and if they fall short on that or it falls below the standards of what our public works department is handling and currently doing for the residents, because I don't know of any complaints that have come down the pike, that we're going to step in and do it, and they're going to pay us for it. I mean, however your talented self can word all that garbage.
I think you got to keep it a little more simple. Either we're going to maintain it until such time that they can, fully take over the maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm just not for taking care of their property that they own free.
I understand that, but yeah, I mean, we either have to leave them to their resources, and I guess just put some kind of language in there that we will step in if they don't maintain it. But I don't want to get too deep in the bushes with this and make it too big of a change.
No, yeah.
Sometimes
I'm not to cut you off.
No,
I'm sorry. And Harry, I'm assuming you've had discussions with county public works, right? Or public.
I've had with the county.
What's her end game?
To tell you the truth, they said, all they said is they couldn't move forward with doing anything until they owned the property. They needed it to make their next connect. It's the county, they only tell you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like, when I finished up conversations with them, it was like, oh well, we need to get a meeting together and find out what we both want for an end game. As opposed to just throwing the property over. And I don't disagree with it, but they got a really nice walking trail in Florence and around Crystal Lake, and I would love to see the Rails to Trails thing come to fruition from end to end of Burlington County. I would love to help the county out with that. I'm not kneecapping you. You know who I'm talking about in the county department. I think I'd like to see that and see where we can help 100%. And it's not just maintenance. It's just, what can we, it's got to be mutually beneficial if people are going to walk through Pemberton Township all the way from Smithville.
It's in our town. It's got to be nice.
Right. And it's you do a job halfway, you might as well not do it at all. Right. That's all. That's just, I think we should be better neighbors with the county and see what the end game is before we sit there and start swapping land deals.
I can amend the draft ordinance to say final deed transfer conditioned upon Burlington County providing a maintenance schedule and agreement if they don't maintain it, and the township does so, that Burlington County pays the township for the maintenance costs. Now, whether they'll agree to that, I have no idea.
That's why you're paid the big bucks.
That sounds like what we're looking for. And,
right.
and with that amendment, gentlemen, would you at least put it on, for?
I will make a motion. Amy, could I have a date?
I would say August 5th, because by the time Mr. McGuckin gets the revised back to the office, if we get it up, it's going to be publication time. So August 5th.
I will make a motion to put ordinance 23, 2026 up for second reading at the August 6th? 5th, I'm sorry, August 5th meeting for second reading and public hearing.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
I will say yes, but if it comes up on August 5th and the county hasn't responded, Harry, it's going to be a no for me. Just letting you know.
Just so you know, the ordinance would only authorize the transfer if they agree to that language.
Mr. Harper?
Yes, I concur. All right, moving on. New business. Purchases over 3,000. Public Works well flow meters from U.S. Blue Book in the total amount of $7,772.90. As I said earlier when I was answering one of many of Alex's questions, this was something that they had on our agenda, I believe, at the last meeting, but the company that we okayed out of stock, and they had to go to the next highest bidder. I believe the difference was $300 and some total.
Make a motion that I.
Second.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes. right. Yearly renewals, the motel, the Budget Lodge, I forget what its new name is now.
Can I start?
Yes, I believe everybody has a copy of the police report and the fire report and stuff. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Ro, where do we stand with this?
So they're currently in violation under a use, because they have long-term stay there. It's almost to the point of apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
It's yours. It's definitely yours.
They're all linked together.
Good job, Matt.
So at the end of the day, have received an application from this applicant, owner of
Hold on, it's me.
Yeah, I've only done it because I've done it before.
Yeah, but his links to you guys over there. There you go.
So they did submit an application to the zoning board. It was deemed incomplete a few weeks back. So we don't know if they're going to pursue that or not, but we are aggressively working with the state multiple dwellings unit as well as the fire division to make sure that we have all our ducks in a row, but we will be challenging the use that they're currently operating under.
They've had people living there since September of last year.
And well, what I'm getting at is when I ask where they stand as far as that, I'm going to go to the next level. I know 5 years ago when I was still working, I believe the ordinance on the books was 3. After 3 misuse of 911 or something, there's a 4th degree criminal charge for that. Okay, misuse of the 911 system. But also on top of that, there's this thing called I'm trying to think of what the word is. Kenny, what's the word where you over abuse the use of the police department? Do you remember what I'm talking about? It's along those lines. What I'm getting at is June is gone now, so what, roughly 180 days for the year. Yet the number of calls for service is 197 to the hotel.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? How many times has this guy been brought into court?
And no fire calls since February, right, Harry?
You can't do that if you're on fire alarms, right?
We believe
Probably disconnected.
we believe, but we don't know that they may have disconnected
So,
on purpose.
Mr. Boyd, I'm going to lead to the expert here. That many calls for police services, does that still fall under the police department to enforce, or is that something where we can do the nuisance thing? Because you talk about a gross misuse of our tax dollars. I mean, yeah, I support the police department, of course I do. And when I say there are so many better things, nobody responds to the budget lodge, single officer. You just don't do it. It's a safety protocol. So if you got a 5-man crew or you got a 4-man crew on, now you've got 2 off the road for officer safety.
I want to jump in a little bit because there is other issues that we're dealing with, and there are some legal issues involved. The only discussion tonight is whether they meet the requirements for the issuance of a license, and that's what the discussion should be about. Otherwise, I'm concerned that there would be a legal issue that we would not be able to overcome. So the issue is, do they meet the licensing requirements or don't they? If they do, then they would be entitled to a license. If they don't, then they would not be entitled to it.
You could have stopped me 5 minutes ago.
It's okay. I got it. Took me. I was listening.
Yeah.
I have no problems getting slapped by you. You're bigger than me.
In my opinion, they need to be deemed not approved because of the many problems, and I'll say that'll be the end.
There is a specific requirement here in the ordinances that an occupancy, no contract guest shall use or occupy a room or any portion of the room in any motel for more than a calendar month for more than 31 days during any 3 calendar months. And at the expiration of the 31-day day limit, it must be an affirmative duty of the operator to petition the township business administrator in writing to permit a non-contract guest to avail himself use of the motel for a period longer than 31 days. So if that has not been done, then the owner is in violation.
I'm looking for a motion to decline.
Well, how about if we change the name of the place? We're gonna call it closed.
We're working on that.
We
Okay.
should make it a splash park.
So,
I make a motion not to renew the license.
all right, have a motion. Looking for a second.
Second.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Dewey, what was your motion?
To deny.
decline?
To
Yes.
decline the renewal and change the name.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. All right. Moving on. We have a petition for a parade permit, public hearing required. Does anyone from the public wish to comment on this parade permit? Seeing none. Any of
I
the,
make a motion to approve the parade permit.
I'll second.
okay.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes. Moving right along. Ah. Bill list. Get that out. I think I had a couple questions. Or anybody else has any questions?
I have just one.
All right, go.
Right on the first page, the expense there for that New Lisbon water system, what exactly is that expense covering? It says just NLWS Phase 1 construction. I'm looking for clarification on what that is.
Without knowing for sure, I gotta say it's probably, oh, yeah,
Jen.
it's engineering bill. It's
Yeah.
for,
That's an engineering bill?
yep, the engineer, because
Okay.
tomorrow we're having the meeting for the pre-construction, so
Okay.
the only thing that's been done is engineering so far on this.
And that's all I had. All the rest of these look pretty straightforward to me.
What's that? All right, anybody else
Yeah.
have?
Let's go to page 5,
Okay,
the second one from the bottom. I'm not mentioning any names, but
that's what we want.
the names caught me.
Page. Okay, Row, do you have your bill list in front of you? Page 5. Yeah, and again, to try to be easy about this, do we have anything ongoing that you're aware of, with that one as far as that, I believe,
I think there's 3 on there.
yes, there are.
So I was involved only in the Sister matter, and I did review the miscellaneous billings from Dosty's, Cape Art and Sketcherd. I did review that, but I didn't have anything to do with the last 2.
Mayor, do you have any idea? I mean,
Not, but I will find out.
not that I'm aware of any ongoing labor issues with that, so. Okay,
Well, should
I'm
we,
surprised I mean, guys should have been looped in on whatever's going on, but.
So I did advise the CFO today that legal bills that are addressed to me, I would like to look at them before they're processed. I think it's just been like the normal practice that they do, nothing, malfeasance or, nothing to be like worried about, but I want to see them. So this way, when these questions are asked, I can respond to them.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate you guys looking into that. Oh, yep, it's better to know for sure, yep. Anything else, Mr. Dillon?
well, what, are we gonna hold up on this until we know, or?
Well, I didn't know if you had any more questions.
No, that's all. That I mean, jumped out at me.
Okay, if you
And
want.
I wasn't aware of anything.
Anybody
going
else
on.
have anything?
And
If if you want to make a motion to approve everything but that one until we get further information.
I second that.
Well,
Oh, I thought you made
I'm looking for you to make that motion.
I make a motion to pay the bills except for page 5. That's all I should have to say, right?
Yes, yes, they know
Okay?
exactly which
Until
ones.
we get the answers, maybe it's nothing, but I mean, it jumped out at me when I saw it. It
Yep.
looks a little suspicious.
Okay, looking for a second on
I'll
that?
second it.
All right.
All right.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes, thank you. All right, moving right along. We have solicitors report.
Nothing.
You sure?
I'm positive.
All right, Mayor.
All right. Well, Harry, you got us out of here in less than 4 hours. Thank you for that. I got a couple things. First off, I want to thank Marty and the BMIA, as well as all of our township employees, rec department, PD, fire, DPW, emergency management. Last weekend's events they just turned out remarkable. The parade, the BMI luncheon on Sunday, the water carnival, phenomenal events. They went off without a hitch. We did have one little brief scare with weather late in the evening, but that went right by, thank God. But it all turned out very, very well. Ms. Flaherty, to the left of me, was recognized at BMIA last Sunday. She was the keynote speaker at the luncheon. Did a great job, and got a little award too. And she made a little thing in her house with it. But we got a lot of things going on right now. And to Mrs. Miller's point, we all need to do better. The infighting, I'm guilty of it. I'm the first one to admit it. I've said words at meetings that I probably shouldn't have said. I've said words to people I probably shouldn't have said. But we all need to do a lot better and work better together, because anything less is just divisive. And I apologize. That's all I got. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. And on that note about Roe, I'd like to give a round of applause to. Thank you, Roe, for what you've done for us and what you will continue to do for us in the future. And do you have anything to report tonight?
I actually do. The UEZ, we attended the June 24th agenda, and the ALPRs that the chief of police was looking to get in the amount of $119,000 was approved. So that's a good indication that we're getting a lot of good feedback from the UEZ. So we'll be submitting more grant applications moving forward. We are going to have a 9/11 event, having lunch with a hero. Please, if anyone knows any veterans, military, EMS, EMT, fire, police, please feel free to reach out to me and share their stories. We will be putting a pamphlet together, and we will be inviting them. And if they're not here anymore, we'll be inviting their family as our guests. The last thing I have is the county does this annual tree giveaway, and they sent over an electronic form. I filled it out for the township just with the sake of it's first come, first serve. We were allowed to get up to 10 trees. So hopefully we get them, but I wanted to let everybody know just as far as transparency. And thank you all, and have a good night.
I thank you, Roe. Amy, I think you have something you want to address.
Yes, I just want to remind everybody that at the general election, the question will be on the ballot for the change of government. However, there has to be a charter study commission done first, and it needs 5 members. I haven't had anybody pick up any of the petitions yet. Mr. McGuck, a question for you. What happens if nobody runs for those?
Referendum. I would have to research it because that would be a rare occurrence. But my initial inclination would be then, regardless of the question, if no one runs for that position, there is no charter study commission.
Okay. So these petitions are available on the website. They're available at my office. You can email me or you can come to the office and pick one up. The next 3 weeks you would get them from Sunshine. So these petitions are available. They are due back by August 17th, back to my office with 100 signatures of registered voters. So just letting everybody know, this is another step that has to be done regarding the change of government if that's what the township wants. That's it.
Thank you, Amy. Any of our professionals have anything to say tonight? No? All right. Mr. Ward, comments?
No, I don't have too many. It's hot. It's hot out, so we want to get home. Hope everybody has a great 4th of July coming up. I won't keep you any longer. It's 8:45, so yeah, we're out of here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Doyle.
I just wanted to say that I came onto the Water Carnival in the beginning, and very, very proud of our public works, our police, EMS, fire, like everybody has said before. I don't know if anybody took note, but the things that have been going on at public events around our county did not happen in Pemberton Township. And the one thing I did notice when I was there was the strategic locations of where the roadblocks were, where the police positioned themselves, where the fire guys were. There were people rotating the entire night, making sure our residents were safe. So all our residents had to worry about was just having a good time. After that, there is no greater thing to see up here than 4 and 5 months ago being ridiculed for hiring Roe, being ridiculed for hiring Mr. Gerber, being ridiculed for hiring Mr. Boyd and spending the money that we spent on them. To turn around a few months later, and if, Michelle, you are so good at going back and checking, let me know what date that was that I said, give them time, because I remember sitting up here and saying that. But to have the number of residents come up here and individually thank the people that we hired and appointed to these positions makes me very, very proud to know that I made a difficult decision, but I was helped in making the right one for this township. So, good night, everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Dewey?
The Water Carnival, the parade was fantastic. I got to reach out for the lifeguards. We were on the beach, and Tracy just had her knee operated on. And I think the lifeguard's name was Jason. Real nice, really nice person. And I said, is there any way that we can go through that gate to get to the dock so we could get on the boat, or do we have to walk all the way around? He said, no problem. And he didn't know me from nothing. He escorted us, opened the gate. We got Tracy up on the dock and in the boat. And I mean, it was outstanding. The guy was polite, couldn't do enough. The negative thing about the whole thing was, and I thought it was a total embarrassment, is we have to do something between the state and the federal government with these geese. The entire beach was landmines. The boardwalk you had to watch where you walk. And if we don't get ahead of this, we're going to lose that lake. They destroyed Lake Pemberton. It's just green slime. And the other day I was going through town, and there had to be 300 geese at Reflection Park. I went around the lake today. I had to stop 4 times for geese to go across the road. And if you hit one, somebody gets your tag number, they want to give you an electric chair. But we got to reach out to the game wardens, the state, the county. We got to they got to do something. We're going to lose our biggest asset. I think Kenny mentioned that they took care of that pothole at McDonald's. All right. That's very good. Thank you for that. And congratulations to Roe. Well deserving. You're doing a great job. To piggyback on what Perry said, Kenny Gerber, Tom Boyd, 3 wonderful assets that we've got. And you can already see a difference in the town. We have the right people in the right places. Marty does an excellent job, and thanks for hanging out. We're going to make sure that contract gets done. You got my word. And thanks everybody for hanging in there with us, and have a great 4th of July.
Mr. DeSheleroy?
Just a couple of things. I wanted to also piggyback on what he said about the Canada geese. They were protected when their species was endangered. Now they number in the tens of millions and are actually harassing and damaging actually rare water birds. So they really need to be removed from the endangered species list. And I think this may be an opportunity where we need to get involved with other towns that are having a problem and start a movement here. Because they have become a massive issue. They're polluting waterways. They're encouraging the growth of water plants that are invasive because they destroy all the native plant life. And then the second note is the next 4 days are going to be extremely dangerously hot. Make sure you stay hydrated, stay out of the sun as much as possible. And remember, don't just drink a tremendous amount of water. You have to include electrolytes. If you're sweating, you're losing your salts. And even if you get enough water, if your electrolyte imbalance, it goes imbalance, you can still pass out. So that's all I've got.
Thank you very much, Charles.
You
Yeah,
think we could call ICE
I'd
on
just
it?
like to piggyback on the back of almost all the different council, mayor, row. We did have a great water carnival, great parade. You know, shout out to every department that gave their all behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Even had a lot of volunteers out there that helped with things, and it was greatly appreciated. And hopefully, the water carnival is back to stay. You know, that's all we can say about that. Yeah. And it's what we need. It's what we need. We need to have more of these good things. There'll be a farmers market coming up, not this Saturday, but I believe it's the 18th of July is our next 18th. Okay, so don't forget to stop out at the farmers market. Get out to the White Bogs and enjoy that stuff out there. I don't know if the Recs have any walks going on this month, but they usually have a walk once a month in different areas. Check out their website. You know, we need to keep doing the good things, talking about the good things, and try to not dwell on the bad things. We're trying to have more good than bad in this town. And just a little bit on what Amy said, it was months and months and months. People wanted this change of government. And people were telling me, can't wait. I'll jump on. I'll be a person to be on that committee and all. And now she's telling me nobody signed up for it. You know, the council gave the residents what they were looking for by getting it on, you know, ballot. And you know, you got to do your part now and get 5 people that want to run and be on that committee. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We're going to keep trying to do better every meeting and trying to do more good things for the town. Thank you. Looking for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Wants me to sign something?